By the way, I went through the schedule. I think I'm going over the 9.5.
You're going over.
I'm oddly up. I'm going over the 9.5.
Should be.
Weren't you weirdly pessimistic a few months ago about the schedule and how daunting it was?
I'm not picking 15, but I'm going over 9.5.
Okay.
I'm going over 9.5.
I like being bullish on that
what
number.
What 2 divisions do they play again?
They
play NFC
I don't
Central.
know the divisions anymore.
Well, they play NFC
the Falcons,
North.
the Dolphins, the Vikings, the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Packers.
They play the AFC West.
Yeah.
Then they play the NFC North, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, those are 2 pretty tough divisions.
They are, but I disrespect a lot of those organizations.
Do we know where they're playing Detroit?
Yes, they're playing Detroit at home, but I'm going to give them a loss to Detroit.
At home, okay.
Yeah, I think the guy's
They can
name
beat Detroit here.
that I saw was Joe Fortenbaugh.
Oh, I know that guy. The bald-headed dude. Yeah, he's out in Vegas.
No, I don't think he's bald. He's kind of like a slicky boy.
Oh, no, he's not bald. You're right. Joe, yeah, he's got the weird, long last name.
I know guys mixed up.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good.
But I didn't hear the audio. It was like during a commercial break here, and I just saw the closed caption. I was like, oh, God, they're talking about the Commanders.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got under. So I don't know exactly what his rationale was. But that was his betting play. Probably tougher schedule, sophomore slump, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely good. Joe Pete tells me,
but
be ready for the Jaden Daniels regression. And it's nothing against Jaden.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the league figures you out, and there's going to be a readjustment, obviously. Now, he doesn't think that he sucks. He thinks he's very good.
Yeah.
But the league is not stupid. They're going to be locked in on doing things, and they're going to make it as difficult for them as they can. They obviously tried to do that last year, but now they have a full off season to try to do that. Come up with ways to limit Jaden's effectiveness.
It's true.
Right,
I wouldn't expect a lot of regression, if any.
I pushed back on it, Case.
As you should.
Do you think the number 2
guy.
ranking, we brought it up, and if you want to chime in, 800-636-1067. Do you think the number 2 ranking by Rich Eisen is fair?
What's the point?
What do you mean fair? I mean, I guess it's fair. We were a Final Four
It's
team
a little
last year.
higher than
It's
I would
higher
put
than
him.
I would
It's a
put him.
little aggressive, but like
I would probably put him top 7. I don't know if I'd put him top 2.
5.
Definitely top 10. Definitely worthy of top 10.
Yeah, I would
100%.
Especially since what they added.
I definitely think they're worthy of top 10.
100%. I would put him in that 5, 6, 7 range.
Yeah, I think it's a little
2
aggressive.
is,
I don't like to put the expectations even that high.
So I have what Fortenbaugh said.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a gambling guy. He's all about the numbers. He said, I'm highly concerned about the abundance of red flags signaling an upcoming regression for Washington. For starters, the Commanders finished 12-5 last year despite a plus 94 point differential, which is more indicative of a 10.6 win team. So he's got certain metrics.
Okay.
And if you're at that certain point differential, I mean, 10.6, I'd round it up to 11.
Yeah,
it's not
I
that
know
much
that's
of a
still pretty
difference.
good. And
then-
still we definitely won a few games, probably. Like, if you played it 10 times, we wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, we
They
wouldn't
won
win
a
every
Hail
time.
Mary.
Yeah, we won a couple, like, luck box
And a
games.
giant
of
game.
course.
He brings that up. He goes, second, Washington went 8-4 in 1-score games.
Right.
Those are 2 metrics which demonstrate how Dan Quinn's team performed above expectation in 2024.
I agree with that. But I do think that we got better personnel-wise that can offset some of it. And I don't expect, if Jaden has a big regression, can you imagine if Jaden has like a really big sophomore slump?
No, I can't imagine that.
I know it's hard to even wrap your brain
I can't even
around
comprehend
it.
it, actually.
But what if he actually went out there? I mean, you know who had
And
a big sophomore slump eventually? Robert.
Yeah.
Robert was God.
Different personas.
Different
work
believe me,
ethic.
I know. You don't have to sell me. But we've been through it.
Not worried about that one bit.
Here's one problem I have with this metric about
can't
the
even imagine
1-score
it either.
games is, and we'll find out, but some teams have that in their DNA where they win 1-score games. So his regression play in that category, it may be fair to some teams, and maybe it'll prove to be fair here for Washington, but they kept saying Kansas City last year was going to fade, right? The Kansas City was fluky. They kept winning all these games. Well, they did it all the way to 15-2 into the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Well, you
Like if you've got, like they have a guy in Jaden Daniels and an offense set up where if you give them the ball at the end of the game, they're probably going to win it.
Yeah, if he's there with the chance at the end of the game, you're going to have a great chance of pulling it.
now we got
Think about it, Evie. That's 8-4, and in the Cowboys game, which, I mean, it was kind of a ridiculous game. You had Turpin run the kickoff return.
Yeah.
Then you had the pass to Terry McLaurin, and then Seibert missed the extra point.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the
You
kick
mean, like,
return is
but-
infuriating.
You know, he did it over and over again throughout the season.
But they did have 3 that I can just think of right now off the top of my head. 3 wins that were borderline super lucky because you had the Hail Mary,
of course.
the giant game where Neighbors drops the 4th down play,
Yeah.
plus the
Yeah.
Cano was out, and the Eagle game where Devontae drops the ball.
Sometimes guys drop balls. And Giants were dumb because they didn't
But
have
I
a
think-
backup kicker because they knew Gano was banged up
Correct.
heading into the week.
That was stupid.
Dable, dumb.
There's no doubt about it. We ran hot. We ran hot last year.
100%.
No doubt about it.
Sometimes that happens.
But like you said, they got better.
But I think they got better, though.
They definitely got better. I mean, when you add one of the best tackles in the game, you draft a tackle, you add one of the best receivers, they got
move
better.
a tackle who started like every game. You move them to inside.
Yeah.
Like they should be much better.
800-636-1067.
Doesn't mean they're going to win 12, but they're better on
I
paper.
think they drafted a guy who could be a 10-year starter at corner.
Could be.
Now, the problem is, and I don't know if we talked about this during the week, is Yahoo did a breakdown of the NFC East drafting prowess this past year, and they gave every team in the division really high grades. I think they gave the Cowboys an A+ for their draft.
They drafted,
So it's good-
they drafted a guard in their first round.
I'm just telling you what the Yahoo expert was saying, that not only did the Commanders have a good draft and the Eagles, who always have a good draft, but the Giants and Cowboys apparently crushed it according to a lot of the metrics.
Giants got a lot of praise because they drafted Abdul Carter, and
Mhm.
people believe he's going to be this incredible edge rusher. And they moved up to get Jackson Dart, but he's going to sit the bench.
Right.
So
about
Russell Wilson ahead of him.
What can Russ Wilson
Like,
do
you
this
can
year?
call it a great draft.
I don't know
Well,
how
yeah,
long it's going to
it-
last.
I mean,
I mean,
depends.
Russ needs to be. He needs to play markedly better than he has lately. Right? Had a little bit of resurgence last year.
I didn't think he was that bad with the Steelers. It
I
ended,
think Russ plays for a year, and then they'll
Yeah.
be ready to turn it over to Jackson
You think
Dart
he'll
if
play
he's
the
ready.
full year? He's going to play the full year
If
with
he
all that
doesn't-
New York media and
if
all
he
that New
doesn't
York
stink,
pressure.
If he doesn't stink, I think he gets the full year.
I think he has
If he's
to,
terrible, then
I think he
they'll
has
yank
to do.
him.
I think he has to do pretty well because I think the fans are going to demand. They
Well,
want
the
to see
bar
Dart.
is low. They won 3 games last year.
Yeah.
So, and I think their win total in Vegas right now is at like 3.5 or 4.5. So expectations are not high for that team.
Man, you got to be really bad to go 3-14 or
Well,
4-13.
They did it last year.
Yeah, I know.
They were that bad.
But their quarterback situation was just putrid.
But I'll say this:
weren't
Not
they
that it's
right
great
there,
now.
though, in both games against the Commanders?
Yeah.
The Giants?
Yes.
I believe so.
Both of them.
I'll say this: I don't like it when the I've always rather sneak up on people. I don't like being anybody's second best team in football. That's scary.
I think
Because
they're-
especially when it's unfamiliar territory.
You don't like the
We're
weight
not
of
used-
expectations.
I don't want the weight of expectations on a team that's done it once.
but they're going to be.
I think they are sleeping on the Lions. Like, the
I do
Lions,
too.
I mean, we'll see, but they pretty much have their key personnel all back.
Lions are legit.
Ben Johnson gets the job with the Chicago Bears. I get it, but whoever was right underneath him should be able to run the similar offense. They still have all the same guys.
What were they in?
Well, they're
terms,
putting Washington ahead of them probably because Washington
Washington murdered
we
them.
humiliated
went into
them.
Detroit in the playoffs and beat them.
I mean,
But you
it was
remember
like
how many
perfect.
guys-
If Detroit had beaten them,
Yeah.
Washington wouldn't be too.
Do you remember
ahead.
how many guys, though, Detroit had out on their defense?
Yeah, I think so.
It was
yeah.
like almost like 6 starters.
Yeah, they had
Yeah, but
they had a ton of
Dum
guys
Golf
missing.
threw like 4 or 5 picks.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I mean, what was he doing?
Is that a bad game?
But if Detroit had won that game and went to the Super Bowl, then even if they lost to Philly, they'd be higher in the power rankings. I would assume.
Yeah, and then the Rams being so high. I don't know. To me, the Lions are kind of getting disrespected. Would you lift the Rams above the Lions?
No, I think the Rams.
I mean, Lions had the best
the
record,
Rams
right?
are
Correct
way
me if
too
I'm wrong.
high.
They were the 1 seed.
Yeah, having them at 9 is disrespectful.
Yeah, I think the
That's
Lions got
that's a
disrespected.
disrespectful ranking. But again, it's a ranking in May. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on, we're months away from the start of the
But
season.
Rich Eisen's pretty reasonable. He's not like a bomb thrower.
No, but he's not a bomb thrower.
He's just a regular donk
He's
like
just-
us.
he's like me.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you there.
I mean, a guy runs a 40 in his suit as a goo. Like
Hey, it does work he's plugged in. He's works for the NFL Network.
Yeah.
And my point is, it's not like Skip Bayless's or Stephen A. Smith's list.
Right. He's done as much scouting as you have.
But it's just his opinion. I mean, everyone has opinions.
What's your opinions?
Mine? If I had to
In
do a
terms of the
top 10,
Commanders?
I would have him like
I would have him like
6 or 7
yeah,
or something.
Maybe 6 or 7. That's
No.
perfect.
I want your definitive number, your definitive ranking, not 6 or 7, 5, 6 or 7.
You mean rank the teams or just the Commanders?
I don't know. I have to go through the teams. So I probably put the Eagles ahead of them. I put the Ravens ahead of them. I would put the Chiefs ahead of them.
I might put the Bills ahead of them.
Bills ahead of them. So what is that?
There
Where's
aren't a lot of
get me?
teams
I
that
wouldn't
put
have
ahead
the
of us.
I wouldn't have the Rams
That's
ahead
at
of them.
5 right now.
I got Commanders 5.
I would put us at 6.
I would rank the Commanders 4.
I'll put the Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bills ahead of them.
Yes, I have the exact same.
And maybe the Lions.
And the Lions, we played perfect that game.
Yeah.
We played perfect. But
Matt,
I do think Jared
6.
Goff sucks. So I'm going to stay I'll stay ahead of the Lions, but I think the Lions are good. I disrespect the Broncos, disrespect the Vikings, disrespect. You know what? I like Baker's moxie. I actually respect his moxie.
You like the Bucks?
It's hard for me to disrespect them, even though they're a horrible franchise.
But
I
Washington.
feel like where they finished last year is kind of where they're destined to be. Like they'll be
10
pretty
and
good, but
7.
they're not great.
They'll make the playoffs.
Yeah,
and
but
get
they're
bounced
the
in
kind
the
of
first
team that
round.
can bite me on the ass. They're the kind of team that could definitely beat us.
Well, Commanders were fortunate to win that game.
Yeah.
He botched that snap on third,
that's on
third
him.
and like a half yard.
That's on Moxie Boy. He lost the game.
Wasn't that the game where Gonzalez doinked it off the upright for the dub?
Yes.
But it went through. Yeah.
But that was a situation where Jaden Daniels let him down the field. That's my whole point about that late game thing is they have a guy who's really good at it.
But even having them ranked 6th, that's still pretty high.
Of course it's high.
Relative to what we've done over the
Of
last
course,
30
means you're a
years.
contender.
Yeah, because before Jaden got there, most of these power rankings, they were ranked 23, 26.
We'd win a couple games, we'd move up to like 18, 15.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy to be ranked up that high. How many others have their way too early power rankings? Just only Rich for the most part?
No, I'm sure there's tons.
Oh, you can find them.
After the draft, there's probably a million of them.
But Rich has some credibility. So, all right, coming up next, we have a big announcement from one John Martin Orville.
You do. It's coming.
A big announcement.
A big one.
Your second one, you got it.
I think so.
Yeah, you got it. It's a good one. I understand. I can see
Did
why.
he confirm that?
No. I just.
Yeah.
You're right. You're just right.
Guys think you're onto it.
We're on.
You're
look
on
at
to
you,
the
look at your cakes. I see your poker face.
Hold on.
I want it to be that he's a grandpa. That's what I want it to be.
It's not that.
I
Could
want.
be.
We
don't know.
Could it have something to do with?
Did you see what I wrote down, Jason?
Could it have something to do with Amy's eye, her inflamed eye?
What do you think?
It could.
That
Possibly.
he's been talking about that, right? Yeah, I think that could be it too.
Yeah,
I wrote down this,
I've
Let me
been
see what you wrote down.
but I don't know if
Oh,
What did he write?
That's underwhelming.
What did he write?
We'll talk about it when we come back. We got
I said he
Cake's
was going to the Caps game.
big announcement
in
coming
Raleigh.
up
That would be big
next.
in my world.
Oh yeah, that would be big.
Don't go anywhere.